Let's see, out of all the times that you've cut your hair, have you ever once regretted it? Ooh. Hey guys, what's up? What it do? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kaice, and if you are new, please take 1 second, go down below, hit that subscribe button, and click that little bell button so you'll never miss when I post a new video. All right, y'all, we are going to be getting real about my hair. Now, I have plenty of videos on my channel, like explaining the many reasons why I have cut my hair the many different times that I have. And I just want to be clear, I don't do that because I feel like I have to explain myself, because you don't have to explain yourself for anything that you do in life. I pretty much just do it because I know that there's other people out there that might be able to resonate with the reasons that I chose to cut my hair. And so if I can express myself and be open about my choices and it can help somebody else, I'm gonna do that. If you are not new to my channel, then you know that this was not my very first big chop. I've big chopped several times. But if you are new, I'm just gonna give you a little rundown on me and my journey. So I did my very first big chop in February of 2013. Prior to that, I did transition, meaning growing out my natural hair for about 7 months before cutting. So my last perm per se was in like July of 2012. I transitioned for 7 months and then cut it in February of 2013. Since then, I have done so many different things with my hair. I have colored it, I have cut it, I've shaved it. Anything you could think of, I've done it. So I would not say that my hair journey is the most typical. Most people, when they transition from relaxers or just transition from hair damage, they are growing out their hair to get it as long as they can get it to go. I hadn't experienced that yet. Like, I hadn't experienced the desire to do that. Of course, when I first did it, when I first cut my hair, I was like, yes, I'm gonna grow my hair out. But then of course, as you grow up, as time goes on, as life changes, you just wanna do new things, and it's okay to do that. And that's why I've always been so open about it, because I want people to know that it's okay to not have a typical natural hair journey. It's okay to play around with color. It's okay to play around with cuts and shapes and all that different type of stuff. Because I feel like through every thing that I went through with my hair, it was at a certain point in my life, and I can look back and be like, my hair really represented where I was at that time. And it's pretty cool to be able to live through your hair. It's like weird to say, and honestly, I can't sit here and say that I regret any of the things that I've gone through with my hair, because through every step, not only did I enjoy it, but I also learned so much. I feel like if I hadn't messed up, or if I hadn't tried certain things, I wouldn't know my hair as well as I know my hair now. And now I have the confidence to grow it out and do it the right way, and see how long I can get it. So it took me 7 years to actually commit to growing my hair out. So, and who knows, in 5 years I might change my mind, 2 years I might change my mind. That's what life is about. So like literally 2 or 3 weeks ago, I posted on my Instagram for you guys to ask me some questions about the big chop or the big chop experience. And so I'm just gonna go through and read some of them and give my thoughts. Let's get it. So the first question I have here is, did you use S-Curl texturizer on your hair? I have never texturized my hair. The only chemical treatments that I have ever done on my hair is coloring. I mean, since I've had a perm. So my last perm, like I said, was in 2012. Haven't permed, haven't texturized, haven't done anything to my curls since then. These curls that y'all are seeing right now, these are my natural curls. It's just some gel holding it down, okay? Did the big chop allow you to set a new curl pattern? So, okay, this is kind of a tricky question because when you big chop, the purpose of a big chop is to basically start over, right? So you could be starting over from different things. You could be starting over from having permed hair, which is the most common. You could be starting over from heat damage, which is also very common. You could be starting over from having color damage, which is the reason why I started over this big chop. So in a sense that you're starting over from having damaged hair, yes, you'll have a different curl pattern, you'll have a different type of hair growing out because it'll be growing in its healthiest state. But you will not be able to like change the way that your curl pattern grows from your head. You're just going to be growing it in its healthiest state. I also want to clarify that big chopping does not equal faster hair growth. A lot of people are under the assumption that, oh, if I big chop my hair is gonna grow faster. That ain't how it works. Big chopping your hair allows your hair to breathe from the damaged ends that you might have, whether it's over processed from heat or color or permed, whatever the case is. And relieving your hair from that will allow you to learn your natural hair in its natural state, and in that case you'll be able to retain length more because you're taking care of your hair is healthy, there's no ends pulling on it making the hair come out, there's no split ends causing your hair to split all the way to the top and break out. So you cannot create a different curl pattern from the one that naturally comes from your head, but if your hair is currently damaged and you start growing your hair from scratch, you're gonna be growing out a nicer, healthier curl. How do you prep for a big chop? So I would say the first thing you need to do is make sure that you're mentally prepared. If you've never had short hair before, it's definitely a big change. Now, honestly, it's not an overnight thing where you just wake up and you automatically have the confidence to rock short hair. Personally, me, I've always loved my hair up, so it's not really a big difference from not having any hair, if that makes sense. So I just love the way that I look with short hair. However, if you are not necessarily comfortable with having short hair, this is the time for you to build your confidence. When you don't have any hair, you don't have anything to hide or anything to cover yourself with or anything to like mask yourself with. What you have is your face, you know what I'm saying? And if you can look at yourself in the mirror and see beauty without having hair, you're gonna be freaking confident, let me tell you. And like I said, it's not an overnight thing. When I did my very first big chop, it was definitely hard for me, especially because I was dating this boy at the time, literally 16 years old in high school, and he literally broke up with me because I cut my hair. So you can imagine how a little 16-year-old in her first little relationship was like, oh my God, he broke up with me because I cut my hair. And my hair wasn't even this short back then. I had a little bit, like it was probably like this. I had a little fro, okay? And people were talking about me and his friends were talking about me, and so he broke up with me, and so I was crushed. But look where I am now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if he were to pop up on my Instagram and see me now, he'd be like, damn. So also in that case, don't think about the moment. It's a long-term thing. And just like I was explaining earlier, my hair journey always coincided with my life journey. So okay, you might cut your hair today, you might feel like an ugly duckling today, but think 2-3 years in the future from now when you have a little fro that you always wanted, you're gonna look back at yourself and be like, I was really freaking stupid for trying to tell myself that I wasn't beautiful with my natural hair. And when your hair is short, it's easiest to manage. Like, you have to look at all the positive things that are coming out of it. It's not gonna take you nearly as long to get ready. And at the end of the day, when your hair is this short, you can literally just throw in a wig. You don't have to braid it, you don't have to blow dry it. Like, you could just throw on a wig on top of this, literally. Or if you do have enough hair, you could get braids, you could do protective styles, there's so many options. I personally just love to wear my natural hair. Actually, if I'm being completely honest and transparent, I have learned about myself that I don't really like wigs. I feel my prettiest when I'm just wearing my natural hair, and I feel my most comfortable when I wear my natural hair. So I've worn wigs, you know, on my channel and in my videos and in my pictures on Instagram, but when I really look back at it, I did not feel that comfortable, and I kind of just made the decision now to no longer do that stuff. I do still like braids and I like twists, and I'm still gonna do protective styles like that, but when it comes to wigs and weaves, it's just really not me, and I don't really want to feel like I'm just doing it because I know that those type of pictures get more likes, you know. If I really want to get a wig, I will, but I really don't feel my most comfortable. I feel my most comfortable like this. And it's honestly hard to explain how I got to this point where I feel so comfortable with it, but it comes with a lot of self-reassurance. And also when you figure out the products that work for your hair, but also I would say when it comes to preparing for a big chop, don't overthink it. Don't ask all your friends and family. Make the decision on your own. You should also research people that you think might have the same hair type as you. See the things that they do. See what they have to go through to style their hair, because going natural is not really for everybody. And I don't say that in a sense of, oh, the hair that grows from your head is not for you. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Of course, I endorse everyone to go natural because I feel like it's just the best way. But I mean, the lifestyle of having natural hair is not for everyone. It's honestly one of the main reasons why I cut my hair short when I first went to college, because I was doing so much. Like, I was in college, I was working part-time, and I was doing YouTube. So it was just, I could not take care of my hair, and that was just the reality of it, and that's okay. I don't want people to feel pressured to go natural because it's like a trend right now, because going natural is not a trend. it is something that you're going to be stuck with for a very, 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 very long time. So explore the things that are going to come with it, see how it's going to connect in your lifestyle and the way that you live, and go into it with the mindset of an everlasting journey. Don't think of it like, oh, I'm just going to go natural and my hair's going to grow, because it's not that simple. You'll probably struggle quite a bit in the beginning to learn your hair, because everyone's hair is different. You could watch 10,000 different hair influencers and you might not get the answer that you need because you're not paying attention to your hair. And let me tell you, hair talks, okay? When I first went natural, I was a product junkie. I do not recommend that, but I'm glad that I was able to do that, because I was able to learn even what ingredients my hair agreed with and didn't agree with. So as time went on and I would try new products, I'm like, oh, that product is high in honey. I'm not gonna use that because my hair doesn't really react well to that. Oh, that product is high in, I don't know, coconut oil. My hair doesn't like that, so I'm not gonna use that. It's definitely a learning process, but the preparation part is just a mental preparation. How do you not ever get frustrated? Because I know I do. So I will not sit here and say that I don't ever get frustrated, because there are definitely days where I get bored with my hair and I'm like, well, damn, I don't even have enough hair to get braids yet. But because I have grown my hair out so many different times, I'm like so content with knowing that it's gonna grow. Like, I don't have to overthink it. I'm at the point where I did it once, I could do it 5,000 times again. That is where I get my peace, and if I start getting frustrated, I just remind myself that, and I'm Gucci. The thing is, you really have to be okay with constantly trying new things. And when I say new things, I don't just mean new products, I mean new techniques, because sometimes it's not the products that you're using that's, you know, making it hard for you to style your hair. It's the technique that you're using. And there's so many different things that you can do, like the LOC method, the LCO method, layering different types of products together, butters, oils, gels. Like, you have to try it all, because I could sit here and tell you the things that I've tried that work for me, but what if it doesn't work for you? You're just gonna get frustrated and give up? No, you can't do that. You're gonna have to try to do different things, or even take things from certain influencers that they do and incorporate it into what will work for you. You don't have to just follow one person's specific hair routine or one person's specific advice. You can take what you need from it and incorporate it into your hair however you can. That's honestly how I learned my hair. It was from reading ingredients, learning about ingredients, and watching other people and taking what I can from them and applying it to me, and just constantly trying and retrying. It took me years to learn how to do my wash and go, and it wouldn't have happened if I would have just gave up after the first try. You know, you cannot allow yourself to get frustrated in certain situations, especially when it comes to your hair, because otherwise, if you stop and you give up, you're never gonna learn it, and you're gonna keep getting frustrated because you're not willing to put in the effort to try. And if you are trying and it's still not working, try going to a hair professional. Try finding a natural hair professional in your area, because to be completely honest with y'all, the people on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, even myself, we're not professionals, okay? We are simply elevated consumers. We are the people that try products, and we know products, but we don't really know science, you know what I'm saying? And I would never sit here and try to act like I'm a scientist or that I'm a certified hairdresser, because I'm not. I would like to be one day. That's a goal I'm working on, but I'm not right now. So I can't give medical advice. I can't give you specific hair advice. I can only give my experience and hope that you can apply it to yourself. And that is my only goal. Let's see, out of all the times that you've cut your hair, have you ever once regretted it? Ooh, I can honestly say no. Well, I lied so hard. I think that the first time I cut my hair, when I had first went to college, it was my first time actually big chopping my hair since I had did my first big chop. I kind of regretted it then, just because I just wasn't sure if it was gonna grow back, because it was my first time chopping since my first big chop. So I was kind of like, damn, I wish I still had my hair that I was growing out for 2 years before this, blah, 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 blah. I went through the whole spiel. But when it grew back in like less than a year, I was like, whoa, shit, I could do this 20 times. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I say I am glad that I went through so many different things with my hair, because I was able to see what my hair is capable of. And that's also how I have so much confidence in it, because I know it, you know? You gotta see things through the good and the bad in order to really know it. And it's the same thing with hair. How long before your hair is long enough to be gripped for braids? So that definitely varies. It depends on the person, because some hairstylists will say 3 inches, some hairstylists will say 1 inch. It depends on the stylist. I always blow dry my hair out before I get braids, so my hair in its curly state, it looks a lot shorter than it actually is blown out. But I would say at least 3 inches to make it easier for the stylist, but definitely check with whoever you're trying to go to and see what they're capable of doing, because some people can grip it at 1 inch, you know? It really varies. Next question is, when is the right time to chop when transitioning? So this is gonna be a personal preference, right? So like I mentioned, when I did my first big chop, I was just tired of transitioning, so I just cut it. But I could have transitioned for another 2 years if I wanted to. It really just depends on your hair. It depends on how quickly your permed ends are falling out, because when you start growing out your natural hair and you start wearing your natural hair with your relaxed ends on the end, there's this line called the line of demarcation where your relaxed ends meet your natural ends, and that part is very flimsy and it will break easily. So eventually your permed ends will start to thin and fall out, and it doesn't look as flattering. So I would definitely say it just depends on where you are. Like if your hair is thinning out, or if you're just tired of dealing with 2 textures, or if you're just curious, I would say go for it even if you don't feel comfortable with short hair, because you will get comfortable. You're not gonna have a choice. But like I said, you could always get a wig, you could always do weave. There's so many options, but it's really personal preference. You could go as long or as short, depends on what you want to do. Can I do a big chop even if I have never permed my hair before? Of course you can. Like I said, the big chop is not just for people that are transitioning from having a perm. You could do a big chop from heat damage, you could do a big chop from color damage, you could do a big chop just because you want to freaking do a big chop. Literally 2 of my big chops out of my like 50 were because I simply just wanted to cut my hair. Like I didn't have a reason, I just wanted to cut it. I don't know what it is about a fresh cut, even when it's not this short, but when it's like a little bit longer, when you get your hair cut, it just feels good. And sometimes if you're not necessarily comfortable with your hair or the way that it lies on your head or whatever the case is, sometimes it's not the hair that's the problem, it's the shape. You have to have a shape that fits your head. Now in that case, I would say you have to go to a hairstylist to have them cut it. But every time I got my hair cut up by my hair girl, Hair Color Killer in Philadelphia, I always felt more confident because she always cuts my hair to fit my face. No matter if it's a short taper cut, a long taper cut, she's cut my hair like 3 times. And every time it just fit my face perfectly. And sometimes you just have to do that. Like you might have this big fro, but you still might not feel comfortable with it. And sometimes you might just have to get a little shape. You might have to get maybe like a long taper cut where it's just like even in the back and it's a little uneven in the front, or I don't know, you could just get it cut evenly. Like it really just, you have to experiment with haircuts. But to answer your question, no, you can big chop whenever the hell you want a big chop. Coming from someone who big chops whenever the hell she wants a big chop. How do you drop the fear and just cut it all off? For me, I was never scared. So it's really hard for me to answer this question. I was never scared. Even during my first big chop, like I said, I was so curious. Any fear that I had was just maxed by the curiosity, because I just wanted to see my curls, you feel me? And then from there, since I had short hair, I just was okay with it. And then I cut my hair several times since then, so I just always have been okay with short hair. But in the case that you are not, I would say look at hair inspiration on Instagram. That's what I kind of started doing when I wanted to experiment with different cuts. You also just have to learn how to instill the confidence in yourself to know that you don't need hair to be beautiful. Some people always say, oh, I don't have the head shape, oh, I don't have the face, but it's your head. How do you not have the face or the head to wear your head? There are certain angles to me that doesn't look flattering with short hair, but who cares? It's my head and God gave it to me. So I feel like just building that confidence is huge. And like I said earlier, it's really a mental thing. It's not something that someone can tell you, because all your friends and family can tell you, oh, you look so beautiful with short hair, oh, you look so nice. But inside, if you still don't feel like you look good with short hair, it doesn't matter who's validating it, you know? So build that confidence on the inside and it will definitely show on the outside. Next question, products for hair growth, hair care routine, treatments for hair growth. Okay, I'm gonna say this one time and I'm never gonna say it again. There is no miracle product for hair growth. Hair growth does not come in a bottle. Hair growth comes from consistent, healthy hair care. Now, I have several videos on my channel where I show the products that I've been using to grow my hair. I have a whole series. It's called my Natural Hair Journey 2020 series, where each month I'm doing an update on my hair growth and the products that I'm using. So I highly recommend checking that out, because that's what I've been using and that's what works for me. And I feel like by the time we get to 8 or 10 months, it's gonna be a video for every stage of hair growth that you might be in. Because I started from 0. I started from a shaved head. And so episode 1 is pretty much like my shaved head. Well, that's episode 2, because episode 1, I think, was me explaining my shaved head. But the routine video that I did on a shaved head. Second month, I did the curls. And then coming up on my 3rd month, I'll do another video on the curls and the hair oil I'm using and all that. So definitely check out my Natural Hair Journey Series 2020 if you want more information on my hair growth routine and the products that I'm using. But please, guys, do not assume that just because a product says promotes hair growth that it will actually promote hair growth, because it's not the products, it's how you use the products. Now, of course, there are different ingredients that help to stimulate hair growth, but don't rely on the ingredients, okay? Just rely on yourself and your routine. Last question I'm going to answer is, did you ever feel insecure having short hair? If I'm being completely honest, I inside have never felt insecure about having short hair. I've just never felt it. However, there are other people around me that have, you know, given rude comments, people that have said negative things. Comments on Instagram can get to your head sometimes, and it can make you second guess what you know is not right, or it can make you second guess the confidence that you have in yourself. But at the end of the day, if the confidence that you have instilled in yourself is strong enough, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if you have 2 seconds of feeling insecure or 2 seconds of feeling ugly. The confidence is always going to override it. So it's totally normal to have those moments where you're like, why did I do this? And it's totally normal to have those moments where you just feel like crap because you don't feel like you look as pretty as someone that has longer hair. It's normal, like it's normal. But it's not okay to just sit in it and let it beat yourself up. It's not okay to let other people's comments overpower the comments that you have in your own head that should be positive, because usually we're our #1 biggest critic. You don't want to have negative thoughts in your head and then have other people having negative thoughts and then just be negative, you know? People are going to be negative no matter what. People are going to have something to say no matter what. The one thing that you can do is to stay positive on the inside. And I promise you, even if you have those moments, it will always overpower if you have the confidence instilled in yourself. So I think I'm done. I hope this video was helpful, inspirational, anything in any type of way. Give it a thumbs up if it was. Those really help me out. Definitely check out my natural hair series if you haven't already. I'll be sure to link that down below. I also have plenty of videos from when my hair was longer if you want to check those out as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!